Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Circuits FM Live. I'm your host, the Circuit Master. It's great to be back with you. I hope you are all doing well. I hope you had a wonderful week. Couple weeks. It's been a while since we've seen each other. Hope everything is going well. Boy, it's good to be back. Let's see here. Just a couple quick items to cover while the room fills up. We're live every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. New albums premiere Mondays at 8 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. And if you need synthwave between shows, there are special live streams and an assortment of playlists that you can dive into as well. Just a quick programming note. For the last few months, I guess, since probably the first of the year, been doing premieres through YouTube at 8 p.m. at Central Time on Mondays, and of course, Circuits FM Live here on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. That's going to change, but not in a bad way. So Friday nights is going to remain the same, 8 p.m. Central Time. Monday nights, I'm going to start going live. So I'm going to do another episode of Circuits FM Live on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time, where I premiere a new album. And then I will be releasing that album on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. So for channel members, that means you're going to have access to that album for a little bit until Wednesday night. And then, of course, everyone else on the channel will have access to it publicly at 8 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday nights. So programming will be changing just a little bit. It'll be live on Monday nights as well at 8 p.m. Central Time. Let's see what else. Of course, last, I cannot forget, because it is the most important, I'd like to say thank you to my channel members for your continued support. I truly appreciate it. You keep the lights on. So let's jump into a couple chats here, and then we will get into the music. Just let me know how I sound. I am using the Shure tonight, and I'm also on a new system. So I am acclimating myself to a couple new screens where I can basically see everything, which is really nice. Let's jump in here. Build the Mansion 1. Awesome groove. Thank you, buddy. It's good to see you. I did get your message, by the way. I'm going to be kind of cryptic here. I did get your message. And did watch it. So I will be replying back. Maybe tonight, probably tomorrow. Hopefully that's okay with you. So I'm looking forward to that, by the way. And that is, let's see what else. Here, real quick, I just want to welcome everyone from Kick. Glad to have you here. Of course, we're live over on Twitch, and we are also live on Rumble. So we are live tonight, YouTube, X, Rumble, Twitch, and Kick. Of course, you can follow Circuits FM on all 5 platforms. Let's see here. I say why wait? Let's just jump into the music. Let's make that transition. So tonight we will be visiting the Levantine. The signal never fades. It doesn't matter how many millennia have passed, how far the desert stretches, or how deep the ancient knowledge goes. The frequency is still transmitting. Tonight, Circuits FM Live tunes back in. Set 1 is the Thief of Shadows, a greedy thief crossing scorching desert toward a glowing alien obelisk that has been waiting for a witness since long before the first city. Set 2 is the first city, 9,000 years before the pyramids, when a signal arrived from somewhere distant, and Jericho was the answer. Sacred geometry set to a synthesizer. 2 albums, 1 ancient desert. The signal never fades. This is Arabian Nights Synthwave. And I just want to say thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for being here this evening. It's going to be an interesting evening. So let's do this. The heat is absolute. The dunes are shifting. We're tracking a signal across the Levantine wastes, a frequency buried under a millennia of sand and human greed. A lone thief is hunting a legend. But what he's about to find isn't gold. It's an obelisk. It's a protocol. It's been waiting for a witness. Lock into the frequency, travelers. Tell me in the chat if you found a glowing alien obelisk in the middle of a desert. Would you touch it or call for backup? Stay tuned. This is Thief of Shadows. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed that set. Let's see here. That was from Thief of Shadows. I l- I really enjoy that album, and I like that Levantine mix. Uh, that mix in with the synthwave as well. Before we shift to set two, well, first off, how do I sound? I am using the Shure mic tonight. I'm on a new system, so hopefully that's coming through nice and clear and crisp. That's a little bit different from the Yeti that I was using. Um, so hopefully that sounds pretty good. Like I said, before we shift into set two, let's take a moment to recognize um, everyone in the room. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate it. That was a fun chat during that set. I don't know who did build. Did you win for the most jars? I think you won. I think you had the most. With that, that's a great transition into. I just want to say thank you uh, for the um, for the gift memberships. Um, Build the Mansion gifted 5 memberships. I truly appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for that. That is, um, I know you did that a couple episodes ago as well. So thank you for that. I just want to say welcome to the new channel members Diego, Adam, NH Wolves, Trails, and Soulflare. Welcome. And so, since you are now channel members, you have access to, I think it's about a dozen now. It's definitely 10. It's more than 10 um, Circuits FM albums for channel members. And by the way, there is maybe one coming out tomorrow night, maybe Sunday. It just depends. This weekend is um, Mother's Day, and it's also my mother's birthday tomorrow. And unfortunately, she's not here anymore. But I will be speaking with my aunt tomorrow for a little bit. Um, and some other things going on as well. It's going to be a busy week. So I'm going to try to get that out to you. Another change in programming or an update to programming, just want to let you know Circuits FM Live will be on Monday nights as well at 8 p.m. Central Time. I will be premiering the new albums via Circuits FM Live on Mondays. And then that album will be released on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. So instead of being released on Monday nights, that'll be released on Wednesday nights. So look for that. I also want to say thank you to my VHS Vault members. I appreciate your support. Kim, Shadow, Reno Man, Steve, Eric, and Ace. Thank you so much for being my Vault members, and to my Cassette Rebel members, Zach, Cece, Redwood JM, as we know her, Liquid Hour DMB. Go check out Liquid Hour DMB. He's a buddy of mine, and he's another channel here on YouTube. So if you're into DMB, he's a great channel. Julie, Dat, I truly appreciate your support. So thank you for being channel members, and thank you to all of my subscribers. I do appreciate your support. It's been a fun ride. And of course, the ride is not ending anytime soon. And we will be here. Let's see here. I'm going to jump up here. Cece says, good evening, Doc. Good evening, Cece. It's good to see you in the chat, by the way. I said happy belated birthday to Cece. Cece's birthday was on May 5th. Cinco de Mayo, or as if you lived in Southern California, about, I don't know, anywhere between 10 and I think they came on the air in the late 90s. So it would have been Kevin and Bean on K Rock 106.7. They used to call Cinco de Mayo Cinco de Drinko. That was a fun morning show to listen to. Polymath, good to see you, my friend. Sounds fine. Cool. Very cool. Let's see. Build the Mansion says my mic is garbage. Well, what kind of mic are you using? Let's see here. Black Spire, good to see you. Good to see you in the chat as always. I know you have new stuff coming out soon, I believe. B says, my pleasure, you're welcome. Awesome soundtracks. Well, thank you. Let's see here. And Shadow. Mr. Shadow Governor himself is in the chat. Salami Bacon. Thank you, my friend. And B says, my condolences. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Yeah, her birthday and Mother's Day are always at the same time. So it's a stark reminder. CC says Circuit Maxer is maxing. Yeah. I did put out a couple memes about that. Synthwave maxing and circuit maxing and all of that. Those are fun. I'll do more of those. I posted those on YouTube and over on X as well. By the way, we are live on YouTube, X, Rumble, Kick, and Twitch. That's what I meant to say, Twitch. Black Flyer says, yeah, I love being here. Well, thank you for being here. Yep, Mother's Day is on Sunday. Do not forget. Let's see, did I miss anyone? I'm scrolling up here. I'm scrolling. Bill Dimension says Jar Jar Links. That sitar was sick. Yeah, it's pretty cool. By the way, did you notice I called Jar Jar Links the Sitar Lord? The Sitar Lord. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The Sitar Lord. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do that one, but it came pretty quick. That is the benefit of being a complete sci-fi nerd for I guess all of my life. Bill Dimension says PS5 headphones. Yeah. Oh, there you go. PS5. By the way, I still play 360. I have a 360. I've never upgraded. When the one came around, the Xbox One, for those of you that maybe don't game, I have an Xbox 360. It's an old system. When the one came out, I refused to buy the one. I decided to stick with the 360. So that is that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the second set of the evening. This is going to be from the First City, otherwise known as 9000 BCE. Diving deeper into the timeline, 9,000 years before the pyramids, to a place called Jericho, where the very first city rose to meet a signal from the stars. This isn't just history. It's sacred geometry set to a synthesizer. The mathematics are perfect. The arrival is imminent, and the transmission is clear. Tell me in the chat, 11,000 years ago in Jericho, do you think the first travelers were looking up at the stars or listening for them? Stay tuned. This is the First City. That was Ancient Frequency, The First City. The transmission ran clean tonight. Two albums, one ancient desert. The Thief of Shadows, The First City. The signal never fades. Tonight's transmission transported you somewhere new. Consider supporting Circuits FM through the membership link or buying me a coffee. Both are in description below. Subscribe to the newsletter for the signal, the weekly transmission direct from the Circuit Master. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed both albums this evening. Thank you again for being here with me. Truly do appreciate it. Let's get to some chats before we close things down. Wave Redwood. Yep. Thank you again for being here, Polly. Appreciate it, my friend. Let's see here. Hello, JM. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Just an FYI for everyone. So when I do the 24/7 streams, I will stream to YouTube and Rumble. The streams do not stay up on YouTube, but the first 24 hours of the streams do stay up over on Rumble. So if you go over to the Circuits FM channel or page over on Rumble and you look in the catalog, you will see 24 hours of Synthwave. I also numbered them over on Rumble as well. So you get the Portal 1, the Portal 2. I think we're up to the Portal 5. And so the next portal that comes out, that'll be Portal 6. So if you ever want that continuous, if let's say there's not a live stream up and you want that continuous music in the background, just head over to Rumble and jump into the catalog there. And of course, if you're not following me over on Rumble and you like Rumble or have access to it, it'd be great to see you over there. Let's see. Build a Mansion says Magi vibes. Yep. The Magi. That's an old and ancient word. But today we know them as magicians. That's what the word is turned into. Appreciate it, man. Really do. Let's see here. Just another programming note as well. Yesterday I published I moved the Pyramid Pulse Synthwave frequencies over to Rumble as well yesterday. Tomorrow I'll be moving over a new album as well. I'm going in sequential order. So obviously these are, if you've been following me over on YouTube, these are the albums from older in the catalog. But eventually we'll catch up. Let's see here. Cool. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Design says it was wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your support. And build the mansion with camels. That's right. When I was working on the thumbnail of the art for tonight's episode, I don't know if you're a fan of the Beatles or not. The image tonight reminded me of the cover of one of the Beatles albums. So I kept that in there. I was looking at some different themes of what I would use for tonight, and had three or four different ones that I was looking at, and then I saw that one, and so I changed it up a little bit. Ended up getting the three camel riders, and I thought that was pretty cool and different, and it matched really well with what the theme was for tonight and the albums, obviously, but still had that synthwave vibe to it. So yeah. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get a couple more chats up. Yes, Abbey Road. Yep. Yeah, when they're walking across the street. It just kind of reminded me of that. But these three These 3 people, 3 dudes, possibly, on their camels walking across the synthwave, desert. Yeah, it just kinda reminded me of it. So I was like, you can't go wrong with that, man. I mean, it's a music channel. Let's see here. I'm scrolling. Oh, I just pointed out a little earlier for some of you nerds that wanna dive deeper into this astroarchaeology. There's a field within archaeology where they study astronomy and how astronomy has influenced human culture throughout time. So obviously you have ancient alien stuff, and I did incorporate those ideas into the most recent album. Uh, More obvious in the more recent album, in the first city or 9000 BCE, probably a little less obvious in the Thief of Shadows, but they are connected. They are absolutely connected. Let's see here. Just want to say happy belated birthday again to CC. I hope you had a wonderful birthday, and I enjoyed your interview last night for most of it. I did fall asleep, and I think you knew that. I did fall asleep. But yeah, it was a good interview. It gets kind of late as I get up at 4 and I go to the gym. It's usually about 10:30, 11. I'm just out, except for tonight's Friday night. And after I do, well, that raises the question of what's going to happen to me on Monday nights when I do the show on Monday nights as well, which is a good segue into that. Circuits FM Live will be airing on Monday. I'll be premiering new albums, and then that new album will drop publicly at 8 p.m. Central Time on Wednesdays. Of course, channel members will have access to that album before Circuits FM Live on Monday nights and for the duration through Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time as well. So that's a little bit of a change in the schedule. Friday nights, we will remain here and do our thing here on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time. Bill Dimension says I can definitely see it. Magi, Abbey, Silk Road. That's it. That's a great title. Magi, Magi, Abbey, Silk Road. That's it, man. That's exactly it. Pretty cool stuff. Awesome. Well, it was great to be back with everyone again. I know I wasn't here last week, had the week off, spent some time with Pops. Um, Definitely needed it. Um, he was here for over the weekend and showed him around town. And then, of course, we had to get in some veg out on some Star Trek episodes, both TOS, the original series, and some Voyager episodes. I'm a sucker for Voyager. No, a lot of people don't like Voyager, but I'm definitely a sucker for that show. And so it was a great weekend. Ate lots of food and just relaxed. Needed it. But now I am back. And this is episode 17, by the way, which I'm pretty excited about. Jam Redwood Design says thanks for having a good show. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So just a reminder, we are streaming right now across 5 platforms: YouTube, X, Rumble, Twitch, and Kick. We are live here every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. We will be live again, Circuits FM Live, on Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. And the new album will drop on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And that will be the schedule going forward for a bit. In addition, live streams do pop up. Probably be putting up another one this weekend. Probably the portal. We'll be putting the portal back up this weekend for a couple days as well. So if that goes up, that will be streaming live to Rumble and YouTube. And I just pulled down the Circuits FM live marathon that was up for a couple weeks while I was off. So that will potentially go back up for a couple days next week as well. We shall see. There's some other things I'm working on behind the scenes as well that won't affect this current schedule. It's just some other 24/7 live streams that I'm working on. So I will say more about that later when that gets closer to being to deploying or airing those. Uh, Comment here from Build a Mansion. Absolutely 100%. It's so important to make that time. I love Voyager. My brother had all the VHS steps. Very cool. That'd be cool to watch Voyager on VHS again. That'd be very cool. Yeah, people say it's campy. I don't know. I'm just a fan of it. I could sit there and watch it all day, but I have a lot of other stuff to do, so that's probably not a good idea. um, the just so happened that so I have a Roku in my television, and I have Pluto as one of my apps. Like Pluto a lot because it's all you can basically it's all the sci-fi channels. I always thought it would be a good idea to just have a channel with sci-fi. And it used to be the case until sci-fi turned into sci-fi, but I think that's how it's pronounced now. But more than that, you could just have channels like Pluto does. You just have channels, all the Star Trek channels, all of the Stargate channels. They have a Battlestar Galactica channel now as well for the reimagined Battlestar Galactica. And oh, I just saw, yeah, it says, hold on, I'll get back to that in a second. I want to know what happens around Station 39. Yeah, Space Station 39. That's right. That was a cool response, by the way, Polly. That was a really cool response. Very cool. Anyway, that's what we watched. I don't mind the commercials when I watch it on Pluto. Uh, to me, it's kind of old school. So, I mean, that's where we watched it was Voyager. And no, we watched Voyager through Paramount. Then we watched TOS on Pluto. But still, it's cool stuff. So yeah, we spent some time vegging out with that. Let's see here. Oh, what I was going to say was that's a good idea for a channel, but obviously with Pluto they have a lot more stuff than that. They have westerns and classics and things like that. But I like the fact that they have all the sci-fi channels. And Redwood says it is a silly name. They did that because they wanted to incorporate other stuff besides sci-fi, which is changing the theme. I mean, that's changing your premise. But yeah, that's a whole conversation in itself. That's beyond just being a synthwave channel. Captain Catherine Janeway, Lost in Space. Didn't they go through a wormhole and we're on the other side of the universe, on the other side of the galaxy? They ended up in the Delta Quadrant. They were being chased through the Badlands. No, they were chasing the Maquis through the Badlands. That's how that all went down. And they ended up being transported along with the Maquis ship to the Delta Quadrant. And that's those two crews ended up getting together. That's what Commander Chakotay was the commander of the Maquis ship they were chasing. And then the rest of the 7 seasons is about them getting back to the Alpha Quadrant. I can nerd on that stuff all day. Let's see, Build a Match says also Stargate SG-1. Yep. Here we go. Yep. SG-1. Absolutely. I have an interesting story about SG-1. SG-1 was BAM. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's another show I could just turn on and watch. Oh, I was saying I was watching The Alternative Factor, which is a late episode in season 1 of the original series. I never get tired of that episode. I could watch that episode over. There's certain episodes I could just watch over and over again. Yeah, it's like SG-1. It's What's the one season 2? See, I'm being a nerd now. Season 2, episode 7, I think, is the one where the black hole gets connected to the Stargate, and an SG team gets stuck on that planet with the black hole. That's one of my favorite episodes for Stargate. Can't remember the name of it. Anyway, yeah, Delta Quadrant. That's right. Yeah, I could do this all night. Maybe I should create another channel where I just talk about sci-fi stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. All right. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here again this evening with me. I truly do appreciate it. Again, I'll be back here Monday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Look for that with a new album. We'll be premiering that here on Circuits FM Live. Until the next transmission, time travelers, the Circuit Master, signing off.